Well, Kim, I see that you want to talk about one of the new features that we released with InfoScale 7.1. This one's about SmartIO and its support for multiple VxFS cache areas. What can you tell us about it?
Yes, what we can tell here is that as a standard in our our former releases is that we have supported for one default cache area for an application or for application running a database or whatever. What we have released now is we have released multiple file system cache areas, which provide kind of a flexible caching for application and databases. So we support them on a single file system. We have support also for multiple cache areas, utilizing multiple devices. So what we see here is that we have our local drives. So it could be SSD 1, SSD 2, SSD 3, SSD 4. And in the standard configuration, we had this as a default cache area. The new part we have now is that we support multiple reserved areas, but still only one default area. So that's kind of where we are now. So up here we can see on SSD 1, we have a mount point here called /mount_I. And we have a mount point on the SSD 2, which is called OR_data. That will kind of be set up as a reserve cache area. The two other SSD drives down here, SD 3 and SD 4, will still be our default cache area. Still again, we can only have one default cache. We can also have a mix of read-only cache and also write-back cache in the same on the same SSDs. So up here, SSD 1, we have two mount points, one called /mount_I, and then we have /aura_radio. So they are located as two mount points on the same SSD drive. So that's kind of the new we have here. Then we're using SSD 2 as for mount for OR_data 1, and SSD 3 we have OR_data 2, also with their own either read-only or write-back cache. And then we're using SSD 4 as a default cache area as well. So up here we see we have these four reserved cache areas, which can either be a read-only or a write-back or a mix of these two. So OR_radio, it could be a write-back cache area, and then we can have OR_data 1 as a read-only data, if that's the way application is set up. When it comes to our cluster file system, we also added application caching granularity, so we support the SmartIO plugin for Oracle. So that's kind of how we are using our new features for SmartIO. This setup of this can either be done by CLI or can be done inside Virta's InfoScale Operation Manager. That's how you set this up, and you can also see the performance. So if you're using the graphical interface ROM, you'll be able to see the performance for these different cache areas and can take action from that. So okay. That's kind of the new features around SmartIO.
Well, great. Thanks a lot. And then we see now that we can actually end up using multiple cache areas instead of just the single as we'd done before.
Exactly.
Well, great, Kim. Thanks for taking us through.